Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Savvy. It's myself, George, and today I'm bringing you a quick review on the new release, House of Gucci, directed, of course, by Sir Ridley Scott. Now, this is a film that is going to be really interesting to talk about, and I'm going to actually say this before I go over anything else. If you have seen this film, obviously I'm going to talk about a couple of spoilers, and if you've not seen the film, stick around if you don't care. Stick around if you know the real life stuff, because there's a lot to talk about and unpack in this review, and it's going to be really interesting. I keep laughing because I keep thinking of moments from this film, and I'm not. I'm pleased to take that as a compliment. It is not meant as a compliment because I saw this on Friday. And before I go over some of the ridiculous stuff from the night, I'm just going to go over the social media as always. So do comment your thoughts. As I said, in House of Gucci, spoilers are welcome. Do not worry about anything like that. This is going to be obviously the next new review. We've got Encanto coming later this week, the usual stuff. So hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more reviews coming on the way. I'll go over them properly at the end. And of course, if you do like this, like other videos, do like and comment as well. I'm very curious to see people's thoughts on this because it's been very interesting seeing it online. And if you are new to the channel, if you don't really know what we do, of course, we're a film channel. We do reviews, discussions, and more. And we do new releases, old releases. We build up to big releases, of course. Again, I'll mention some of that towards the end. And we also cover anniversaries as a hint of what's coming. So do find us on our social medias for more information. That's Twitter at cinema_savvy and Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinema savvy. That's the best place to find us on. I'm active on, keep all of those up to date. Obviously, that's more like times and whatnot. But I will, as I say, go over them in the end. But as I said, I'm here talking House of Gucci, and I'm going to be quite blunt. If anyone saw a video we did towards the start of the year, maybe halfway through the year, we were talking about films to watch, what we'll be most looking forward to for the rest of the year, or something on those lines. And I threw House of Gucci in this because I was very excited for this, the real life stuff. Obviously, what happened to Maurizio Gucci, all that kind of stuff was very fascinating. A sort of power struggle with the family, a big brand, bit of in office politics. I've not seen Succession, but people were comparing it to that, and it's all before the trailer. And of course, the cast is incredible. You had Al Pacino, you had Adam Driver, you had Lady Gaga, who was incredible in A Star Is Born, and that photo that came out, and it was Ridley Scott, and he was doing this back to back straight after the last duel, and there was so much going right for it. And then the first trailer came out, and I thought, oh, so it's a kind of comedy, not drama, or is it terrible marketing and it's going to be a drama still? And then the next trailer came out, and then the marketing happened, and then there were clips, and there were more footage, and then the reviews came out. And I don't normally look at reviews before films, but this was very much people heavy on the discussion that this film doesn't know what it is. It was going to be almost 3 hours long, and all this kind of stuff. And I kind of sat down on Friday thinking, you know what? I've got no idea what to expect from this, but this isn't, if I was doing my anticipated list again, this wouldn't be up there at all. I wouldn't have thought, now know what I do know. So yeah, that was my thoughts heading in. And if you have seen it, you'll understand the experience that this film is, because it's 2 hours 40 minutes long, and it doesn't know what it is. Is it trying to be a comedy? Because it's not very funny. Is it trying to be a drama? Because it's not done well at being a drama. It's completely uh, using the wrong, well, two of the wrong actors of the main four, and it's also got the tones wrong. It's got completely what's the term, incorrect factual events happening and timings and stuff like that. So I've really, as my opening gist, I don't have an absolute clue what I watched, and it's been almost 2 days now. The film is an absolute mess, and it's really disappointing because obviously I don't need to go over. Obviously, my favorite actor is Adam Driver in this film, but I'm actually going to talk about Ridley Scott because The Last Duel came out, and there's a review on the channel for this year, and I thought it was incredible. It was a very tough watch. It was a very, very good film. And I really hope that's getting some awards, or at least some attention, because no one watched it. And obviously, off the back of that, I was even more excited for House of Gucci. And obviously Ridley Scott's doing his PR tour. Another journalist asked him about the stupid Marvel debate. He kind of went out on ranting as he always does, and I do love Ridley Scott when he rants because he doesn't hold back, which is completely commendable. But certainly, marketing for this film has been way more existent from day one than Last Night ever was. Not Last Night, Last Duel. And I was kind of gutted that the about what this film is, and I think Ridley Scott deserves not deserve better. I think he's capable of better. I think this is a film that's been rushed together in a 6 month post production. This was filming early this year, and it's 2 hours 40, and he's already talking about doing an extended cut. And I kind of said I'm here to give my thoughts. It's hard to sum up his review because there's just it's such a mess. I don't even know where to begin because I think Ridley Scott could have been the right person for this, but after watching the film, halfway through the film, I actually sat there thinking, you know what, this should have been a David Fincher film. This should have been a mini series on HBO. This could have been so much more. And I think Ridley Scott was completely the wrong person for this film. And speaking about wrong people for this film, it's time to talk about the cast. And I'm going to talk about Adam Driver first, who plays Maurizio Gucci. You know what he looks like. Obviously, he's not like Adam Driver, but I don't care about that. We know his talent as an actor. And I think the word soon around was that he was on set on Last Duel wearing chainmail, and Ridley Scott kept giving him scripts to read for Gucci. And I don't know. Obviously, this is just my head on. I'm sat thinking, did Adam Driver go into this thinking it's a drama because he absolutely does do the drama side of things, and we know he's capable of that, or did he get the memo and go in like Gaga and Jared Leto? And this is where I'm so lost on the film because the film doesn't know what it is, the actors don't know what it is. I don't know if there's an assignment for anyone to understand, or if it was just come up, make it look dark, gritty, and whatnot, and we're going to end up shoehorning this into a B-Tech version of Wolf of Wall Street. So I'm really perplexed because obviously, as I said, Adam Driver's my favorite actor. He's on an incredible acting run, and he's fine in this film, and that's all I can say. He's fine. You know, Annette is incredible. I think he was so good in that. I think that's his best performance of the year. Last Duel was a tough role, and he was just naturally born for that era. And I was excited to see him in Gucci. And I just don't think it worked. He's got great chemistry with Lady Gaga at times when he needs it, but there's something missing. And we get scenes with him and with Al Pacino, which is great. I wanted more of that. We get scenes with him and Jeremy Irons, which is great. I would have loved more than that. And obviously, we get scenes with him and Lady Gaga and him and Jared Leto, and some of them work. But yeah, I think he deserved a lot better. So going into Lady Gaga, the only thing I could think of during this film was Fast and Furious, but without the action, I think she absolutely became Vin Diesel. This is her version of Shakespeare. She's gone in for this 300%. I saw this nonsense about this 9 month going in character. She was looking at feral animals for research and wild animal noises and all this weird stuff. And I've just kind of sat saying, and this is what you have to show for it. Now, I'm worried that there could be an Oscar nomination because the Academy do like rewarding people when they shouldn't based on popularity, which has always been an Oscars thing. And yeah, that's all I can say about Lady Gaga. I'm just worried because the next name on my schedule was Jared Leto, and if anyone's seen Mark Commode's comments on it, then you know that no one can top that. But I've reached a point now where I'm just sick and fed up of seeing not Al Pacino, Jared Leto in absolutely anything in this film. He has absolutely no right being in this. He is every caricature. He's been studying Domino adverts 24/7 for 2 years or something. I'm completely lost with what on earth he is. You know, we're getting Chris Pratt playing Mario and they're not doing the Mario voice. Well, this is Jared Leto's unofficial Mario audition. So just go get his voice, go bring him into it, put him in something he'll be worthwhile in because he had absolutely no business being in this film. He was absolute garbage. And I just sit here thinking, saying, for fuck's sake, we've got to watch Morbius at the end of January. So I think he's funny in it, but it's not funny that he's funny. It's funny that he has gone into this film thinking straight away, what are the weird thing I saw catching up to the 21 films. I saw The Little Things recently. Had no idea he was in that film. I just knew it was Rami Malek and Denzel, and then Jared Leto popped up halfway through, and I just sat there saying, "For fuck's sake!" And it's kind of how I feel now. Every time I see him in something, he becomes a caricature of himself, and I think this is going to be the broad spectrum. You know, when you look back at his career, people aren't going to talk about his Oscar win. They'll be talking about this. They'll be talking about the Joker. Well, not Joker, his version of Joker, because it is just insanity on loop, and it just doesn't stop there. It is just awful, and I'm sick and fed up of it. And I just hope people stop casting him things. He was talking about like injecting himself with olive oil or some absolute nonsense. And the saddest thing is, he's so ridiculous as a method actor now. Is that I don't disbelieve whatever any article could crop up about Jared Leto, and I'm probably going to believe it because he just to say the most absolute ridiculous things. The thing is, he seems like a smart guy in genuine interviews. It's just this whole attitude and approach in this film. Apparently Gucci, the real life company, wanted him in it because he's one of their ambassadors. And I'm just sat there saying, well, you know, hopefully that was just Ridley Scott covering you in prosthetics and you're just going to like be a passenger. But no, we got all of that from him. And the saddest thing is that he gets to work with Al Pacino. And Al Pacino is about Adam Driver in this. I think these two guys are going and approaching it as a drama. There's a lot to like about some of their performances. But again, those two are doing the business side of things, and that's getting glossed over for this ridiculous comedy moments of Jared Leto. We've got him like washing dishes, trying to be funny, and Al Pacino just looks as sick and depressed as the rest of us watching it. So it's just one of those films where it's a train wreck from the beginning, and it all starts and ends with the characters. A 2 hour 40 runtime. It spans like 18 years. Obviously, if you know the story, Last Chance to Turn Off Now, obviously Maurizio gets shot and killed, and in this film they painted a pitch like, oh, he was going to sell his Gucci shares and then was shot and killed on the day he was offered to sell Gucci. And the reality is he sold the Gucci shares like 2 years before. The reality is that he was in a 6 year not court case, a 6 year power struggle with Al Pacino about taking control of the company. And we got like 3 scenes between all of them. It is just something missing there, and I don't know where it is. Again, is it an awful post production where they've turned a drama into comedy, or is it just awful from the get go and something that needs to be scrapped? Because obviously the surviving members of the Gucci family have dismissed all of this. They've dismissed the actors based off their performance, based off their looks, saying they look nothing like the Gucci family. I think the real life Patrizia has come out and said that Lady Gaga don't even want to speak to her, which I found really odd, considering she's still quite popular and it means so much to Gaga, which just makes me think this is one of those ego performances. And obviously Paolo's not around anymore, but it's hard to talk about this one because it's a mess. And a lot of people have seen it, but just giving my thoughts on it, like I said, it's 2 hours 40 minutes long. It didn't need to be. It even needs to be a 10-hour incredible TV show directed by someone capable of telling the story properly, or just an hour and a half comedy, because this is trying to be the Wolf of Wall Street, but it's really, really not the Wolf of Wall Street. And you've got some good actors in there, but you've got some absolute utter dross as well. So one of my most disappointing films of the year is a polite way to put it. And I've got Oscars written in the schedule here. The announcement, this could have been Oscar worthy. This film, this had all the potential to be an Oscar worthy, and I'm actually scared still that there's going to be a couple of Oscars in this. Suicide Squad won an Oscar for makeup. What's saying this can't? What's saying Gaga won't get nominated? What's saying, there's just a way. Golden Globes, if anyone cares about them, sure, they can just slap it in the comedy stuff, and they'll probably get all of them. But I'd be absolutely traumatized to see this in awards season. More of a shambles that no one has seen The Last Duel, but they'll all be seeing this. So that's the best I can say about it. If you want to watch a really good, almost 3 hour Ridley Scott film this year, go back, watch The Last Duel. It's on Disney Plus this Friday. You've got a fantastic lead actress in Jodie Comer, who deserves an Oscar nomination. You've got some great supporting actor performances. You've got a little bit of comedy, but not too much comedy in your Ben Afflecks and stuff. But House of Gucci is not the one. It is one to avoid at all costs. And as every passing minute goes by, I think about this film. As I said, it's been 2 days now. I just sit here thinking it's getting worse and worse. Aggravated it. So I'm going to politely leave that as my final thoughts. Aggravating, maybe the best way to describe this film. But I want to hear from you. Did you like this film? I mean, I know some people have. It's been popular with the general audience, and we know how dangerous that can be at times. But at the same time, I'm curious just to know your thoughts anyway. If you do like it, what made you like it? Is it how ridiculous it is, or is it other factors? Is it actors, or is it Ridley Scott? Because I mean, do you want to know? I said I might have dismissed it, but I haven't spoken to many people properly that have seen it. It's mainly just been the consensus on social media, which is always interesting. But I think this is one where if you went in with the approach of wanting to see a great film, you'll be nothing but disappointed. So, or if you're one of those films that's, I think the best way to describe it could be it's the greatest worst film of all time. Those kind of films, like the electric bottom tier films that are always from your Batman and your Robins, your things like that. This is on this pad. There will be a lot of memes from this film. Some have even already cropped up on Twitter of people recording on their phones, and I think that's the best way to describe House of Gucci. It's essentially a 2 hour 40 long meme that won't be going away anytime soon. It will be one people speak about in the future. So that is my review. If you do want to find other videos, if I've insulted you enough, I don't care, Lady Gaga fans. Twitter at cinema_savvy, Facebook and airbox.com/cinema savvy. Of course, we have links to TeePublic in that description below. And if you want more sensible discussions, we've got Johnny English coming tomorrow. Just the first one. We're going to round off all our sort of Bond spin-off Bond comedy stuff. So Johnny English review coming tomorrow, 10 p.m. will be live GMT. And on Wednesdays, we build up to No Way Home. We were, of course, continuing our Spider-Man reviews. We've got Spider-Man 3 coming this Wednesday, 1st December. Another film that's completely full of memes that a lot of people talk about for that reason. So do check us out on them. We've got a lot more coming your way. We'll have an Encanto review coming at the end of this week. We've got so many things happening on the channel in December. It's going to be an absolute insane month, but nothing will be as insane as this film. So once again, thank you all for watching. Be sure to see you on the next one.